we have a homicide and we know that it was something that was planned, we're going to start interviewing people, you know, whether it's weeks, months, or years prior, basically whatever it takes to find the inception of that plan. Whose idea was it to kill this person? Why did they want them dead? And when did they start talking about it?
But not all of the bodyguards were corrupt. And surprisingly enough, not all of the bodyguards have been interviewed by Las Vegas police.
I'm coming forward with the information because someone asked me, and I was willing to tell them what I knew. No one in the past has ever asked me anything about Tupac, even though when you look at the MTV Music Award tapes, and when you look at his whole last week, you'll see me there. I was there in Vegas when he was shot. I was one of the first people to the hospital, but I was never interviewed by anyone. So I'm just coming forth now to set the record straight. And some of the things that happened to Tupac, we need to check within death row before we start pointing the fingers at other people.
And at the time in New York, I think we had just finished doing MTV, and he had to come back to LA, I think, to do a video. And he didn't want it to go because he was like uneasy about going. He said he didn't want it to go. He didn't feel like he didn't want to go to Vegas. I don't even think he wanted to do the video.
Last thing he said to me prior to leaving was, he's not going to be in Vegas. I don't have to worry about him showing up, and don't worry about it because he won't be there. He did not want to go to Vegas. Matter of fact, he fought off going to Vegas all the way to the last second. And when I got there, I was surprised to see him there because he had told us that he was not going there with, his words, them sellout niggas.
I was told by another one of our security guards that was a bodyguard that he had escorted Pac to the airplane as they were leaving New York, and Tupac told him, specifically told him, that he was a dead man walking.
Another suicidal on the pier, taking private planes, trying to survive the game. For all my homies that'll never be alive again. Only promise us is death, nigga. Take a breath, could be the last one left, nigga. It's real now, feeling and fantasize. Ain't nothing colder. Listen, you can hear it. The ballad of a dead soldier.
I was told by another one of our security guards that was a bodyguard that he had escorted Pac to the airplane.
Taking private planes, trying to survive the game. Taking private planes, trying to survive the game.
He had escorted Pac to the airplane as they were leaving New York, and Tupac told him, specifically told him, that he was a dead man walking.
Close your eyes, hear the ballad of a dead soldier. This is the ballad of a dead soldier. Close your eyes and hear the ballad of a dead soldier.
Reggie Wright told us not to carry any weapons. Never have they told me to leave my weapons, either in my room or my car.
So they were asking us to guard Pac and Suge and everyone else completely armed. We had never been told to leave our weapons.
Why would I leave my weapons in a vehicle or in the hotel room, and I'm personally guarding Pac in one of the most hottest places to be? And what that's going to make it is a bodyguarding incident where you would be, only thing you would have on you is your person.
And Michael Moore made the, biggest, hoorah about the weapons.
I informed Reggie that I wasn't taking my weapon off for no one. My gun did not belong to Right Way. It was my personal gun, and I was going to carry it, and that's what I did. We had a dinner meeting, make that a lunch meeting, thank God it's Fridays, I believe, in Las Vegas prior to the fight starting, and I was told that I'd be taken off Tupac security. You put Tupac at risk when you remove one bodyguard and say, hey Frank, you handle him. So for most of the day, all this went on, and Tupac did not have a clue that's what we were doing. I was a little upset that I was taken off of him, and I got into a little argument with Reggie Wright at lunch over it. He said, Mike, I'm putting Frank back on him, and I'm taking you back off. And I said, Reggie, that part doesn't make sense. Why not leave me and Frank on Tupac? And he said, Michael Moore, do what you're told. I'm going to put you at Club 662, and you're going to handle the security along with Al Giddens at the club. I think the reason they removed me from Tupac This was because I was one of the few people that wouldn't buy into not carrying your weapon. And during no part of that day did I take my weapon off. And Mr. Wright knew that. So they removed me off Tupac so there wouldn't be a weapon there. To this day, I believe that Tupac was under the impression that I was going to be going to the MGM Grand with him. But that wasn't the case. When I went to my room, I knew in my heart I wasn't coming back because I had been instructed to go to Club 662, and that's what I did. He got a little upset because now that I think back on it, he said he's paying for this shit and that he is telling us where we're going. I remember him saying that real loud that day in the lobby, that I'm paying for you, you go where I say go. And then I said, Frank, you need to make a phone call to Reggie.
And Pac said, Michael, come over to the MGM and meet us over there.
Tupac even called Reggie and had Frank get in touch with Reggie to find out where Michael Moore was at. So the problem was festering, and I knew something wasn't right. So when I went to my hotel room, I told Tim Williams, something is not right here, Tim. What we have to do is find out what's going on. So I said, let me go downstairs and I'll change clothes and I'll work with Tupac until Reggie says something. Tim said, Mike, don't do it. He goes, you're gonna piss Reggie off, don't do it. I go, Tim, Frank's gonna need some help. He said, don't do it. Just get dressed and go to the club.
Arm came out, fired into the BMW, and myself and the three outlaws that was in the car with me, we are just in awe. And it looked as if everything was in slow motion. I mean, as clear as me sitting here right now talking about it, my memory will always remember. And the way I visioned it was in slow motion, even still now.
While I was working at 662, I heard something over the Nextels that we all carried for security. And what I heard was, got him.